BR Proud presents Celebrating Hispanic Heritage, sponsored by the Furniture Outlet of Denham Springs.
Good evening, I'm Carly Lang.
And I'm Tavarius Haywood. Tonight we're honoring Hispanic heritage, recognizing all that Hispanic people and their cultures have contributed to American history.
That's right, September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. So tonight we'll show you some of their stories, highlight the effects of COVID-19, and give you a taste of Hispanic cuisine, all while honoring one of our very own, breaking barriers as a meteorologist.
Let's dive right in. In New Orleans, Catholics show a special devotion to Mother Mary, Mother of God. It's a tradition they share with Catholics in Latin America.
The local Honduran community has found a place to show their devotion to Mary at a church in Kenner. Mark Dean has a story of Our Lady of Suyapa.
On Saturdays at Divine Mercy Catholic Church in Kenner, the Hispanic community comes together to sing praises to the Lord in their language. And listening in is a blessed figure, also from their community.
This is the image of Our Lady of Suyapa. That is the patroness of Honduras. In the Archdiocese of New Orleans, the Honduran community is the biggest Hispanic community.
Our Lady of Suyapa plays an important role in the lives of Hondurans. At a shrine near Tegucigalpa, a small statue depicting Our Lady of Suyapa draws pilgrims from all over. And in Kenner, a similar statue serves the same purpose.
Significa sentirnos pues más cerca de Dios.
Guillermo says that to have the image of Our Lady of Suyapa here, it is so beautiful because they can be closer to God, to feel like they are in Honduras.
When Father Luis came to Divine Mercy Parish, there was no statue.
They had like that desire in their hearts to have an image of Our Lady of Suyapa, and this niche was empty.
Parishioners raised money and hired a Honduran artist to make the statue. But when it was time to ship the finished piece, a problem we're all too familiar with delayed their plans.
It was supposed to be here for the Great Feast of Our Lady of Suyapa is on February 3rd, but because of the hurricanes that hit Honduras and Central America, we couldn't have the image for that day. God always sent angels. And a lady, she had a container, and she brings fruit from Honduras. So she said, Father, I can make room for Our Lady. Now this has become like home for Hondurans.
Mark Dean, WGNO News.
The Archdiocese of New Orleans enthralled Our Lady of Suyapa at Divine Mercy in May. The church has a Spanish Mass every Saturday at 7 p.m.
Stick around, we've got a lot more to come.
And coming up after the break, we highlight our chief meteorologist, Ashley Ruiz. Here's a preview of what being Latin means to her.
Being Latina, you're loud, you're proud of where you've come from, of your culture, your family. You just come from a line of so many stories, and to use that passion, that fiery passion that we have to do what we want to do and follow our dreams, because a lot of my family, just ancestors, including my dad, they were not able to achieve their dreams when they lived in Cuba, and so I know I owe this to my ancestors as well, my grandparents and great-grandparents. I know I was given this passion, this drive, this motivation, the intelligence and the love to help people, and I know my ancestors would be proud.
Be Our Proud presents Celebrating Hispanic Heritage.
We're continuing to honor Hispanic Heritage Month tonight, recognizing all that Hispanic people and their cultures have contributed to our country.
I sat down with our very own Ashley Ruiz to find out how her Latina roots and passion for forecasting helped her become the only female chief meteorologist here in the capital city. At just 5 years old, Ashley Ruiz set her sights to the sky.
I watched local meteorologists in New Orleans. I always told my mom I want to do that one day.
But it wasn't until August 29th, 2005, when she realized the importance of that dream.
Hurricane Katrina really shaped who I am today. Even I was 13, I knew that a Cat 5 hurricane going straight for Louisiana was a big deal. And so I wanted to help my family. I wanted to help other people as well.
She keeps that lesson close to her heart.
If I knew I could make a difference in the world of meteorology one day, that was what my plan is going to be. For this time of year, for the end of April.
Her respect for the job carried her through college when she got a taste of just how influential she really is.
You get into college and yes, it is very discouraging to be a female, a minority, but use it to your advantage and remember where you came from.
Weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Ashley Ruiz.
She kept climbing the ladder, becoming the only female chief meteorologist in Baton Rouge and one of the only Latina chiefs in the country.
I didn't see many people that looked like me on TV, but my parents always instilled it in my head, you can do anything. There were so many times where I doubted myself, but I knew from when I was 5 years old, just yelling at me, no, you can do it, you can do it. This is what you were made to do. The heaviest of rain moved through the area.
A reminder that no matter the storms ahead, you too can shine. Absolutely love Ashley and so proud of her and everything that she represents for the community.
Yeah, in that story she said, you can do it, you can do it. She had to remind me that every night, because some nights I struggle, but those words right there keep me going. So
that's right.
Ashley, we appreciate it.
Love, love, love Ashley.
Ashley got to sit down with another Cuban American who's taking her life to the next level with an inspiration to make art.
That's right. Ashley spoke with the owner of Jewel of Havana Jewelry about her journey back to Louisiana.
Cubans. The people of Louisiana are so much like Cubans. You know, friends are like family, and they celebrate life really well. And everything's a party, and the food is great.
Ana Maria Andricane makes handcrafted jewelry in Baton Rouge. Certified in precious metal clay, Ana uses her artistic talents along with traditional metalsmithing, wire work, and beading to handcraft intricate custom jewelry. She says she draws her inspiration from nature's beauty, but it goes much deeper than that. Andricane was born and raised in the capital city, but both her parents immigrated to the States from Cuba in the 1960s.
There aren't a lot of things from their history because they had to leave everything they had in Cuba. But we had some photographs and some little pieces of jewelry, like even my rings. My grandmother told me that she sewed them into the lining of her bra to sneak them out. So I like to say I learned about my great-grandmother and my grandmother through pieces of jewelry.
The arts have always held a special place in Ana's heart, paving the way for a 25-year career on Broadway in New York City. During her time backstage, Ana started making jewelry as a hobby. Before she knew it, that hobby became her career, launching Jewel of Havana back in 2006. Ana's new business and family then brought her back home to Baton Rouge. And it's the people and events in her life that spark her creations.
I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I had a collection called Draped in Love that came out of that journey. So, and that 30% of that goes to the Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. And then when I hit 5 years cancer-free, one of the people that I originally made that collection for had passed that year. So I put out that collection in silver in celebration of 5 years cancer-free, but now I donate the silver Draped in Love collection goes to the Doty Groves Breast Cancer Fund. in her honor.
Her Snow in Havana collection was inspired by her mother, who came from Cuba to the U.S. as part of Operation Peter Pan back in the 60s.
Many thousands of Cuban children came to the United States, and so this collection, it's twofold. It's more about, it's never going to snow in Havana, right? So it's about that sort of hope and going to a place where you don't know what it's going to be, but snow is very magical, and so just that hope that you're going to go to a good place, and that you're strong and you can endure.
Her Through the Looking Glass line was inspired by her Teacup Maltese. And more recently, her What a Wonderful World line was inspired by a family trip to the beach after being apart for so long due to COVID-19.
I always equated like these little pieces of jewelry as history and connecting people to the people they love. It's just like a little carrier of relationship. And I love that part of it more than just the fashion part. Of course, I want people to feel beautiful in my jewelry, but I like that connection and that story that it carries for people.
Anna is staying busy during these tough times by attending the Baton Rouge Arts Market.
She even hosts Havana Happy Hour on the Jewel of Havana Facebook page with other artists. If you'd like more information on events, log on to our website. That's brproud.com. Well, still to come tonight, we look at how COVID-19 is impacting the Hispanic community and how new federal health leaders could have a positive impact.
BR Proud presents Celebrating Hispanic Heritage.
The COVID-19 pandemic is hitting minority communities hard. Hispanic people making up nearly 3% of Louisiana's growing COVID-19 death toll. But the state doesn't track or report how many cases are found in the community, so it's hard to know how much of an impact it's had here in Louisiana.
According to the CDC, Hispanic people are nearly twice as likely as white people to get COVID-19 and nearly 3 times as likely to be hospitalized. And Hispanic people are among the most affected by unemployment changes during the pandemic.
National unemployment data shows Hispanic and Latino people had the highest unemployment rate going into the second half of 2020. Now in 2021, the rate has dipped, but Hispanics were still among the largest groups out of work.
The COVID-19 vaccine is now widely available, but there's been hesitancy in minority communities to get the shot.
Abby Rocha talked to those in the Hispanic and Black communities about why people should not wait.
Through the prevalent studies in New Orleans and Baton Rouge, really highlighted the disproportionate burden that COVID has had both in the African American community and the Hispanic community.
Cuban-American Dr. Leo Sion says the newly released COVID-19 vaccine is especially meaningful for the minority communities who were greatly affected by the COVID-19 pandemic.
It's been a privilege to be up here and get vaccinated and to tell all of my Hispanic brothers and sisters it's safe, it's okay, and we need to do it.
How's the patients doing?
Ollie Martin is a security guard at Ochsner Health. He says the stress of the pandemic reaches beyond hospital walls.
It's a challenge, and people don't understand and don't realize that it's a challenge, not only for us as employees here, but for our families also.
Martin says if people saw what he has seen during this pandemic, they would trust in the vaccine.
I think that me personally, I've seen the effects of the COVID virus, and it's not anything that I would wish upon anybody. So, for me personally, have to take the vaccine.
Martin says he is getting the vaccine to keep his loved ones safe.
I have an elderly father that's in his 80s, and I can't visit. I can't see him because of the risk.
Martin calls the vaccine a blessing and a relief after a difficult year. Abby Rocha, NBC, Local 33 News.
And a new man is now leading federal efforts to protect the health of all U.S. residents. California's Attorney General Xavier Becerra became the first Hispanic person to lead the Health and Human Services Department earlier this year.
Alexandria Limon reports on his uphill battle for confirmation as the man who sued the Trump administration more than 100 times.
California's Attorney General Xavier Becerra told senators that if confirmed as Secretary of Health and Human Services, he will push for strong federal leadership to fight COVID-19.
The COVID pandemic has killed 500,000 Americans, many of them alone without their families. Millions more have lost their jobs in healthcare. That is not the America my parents would believe possible.
California Senator Alex Padilla says, as the son of immigrants who grew up in a working-class home, Becerra is the right person for the job.
These communities are hurting and dying at alarming rates, and they desperately need someone who knows these communities to their core.
Democrats say Becerra's work to strengthen women's reproductive rights and the Affordable Care Act has prepared him to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. But that's precisely why some Republican senators are hesitant to support him.
Not only have you supported the major expansion of the Affordable Care Act, you've also been an advocate for more government interference between Americans and their doctors. During your time in Congress, you supported Medicare for all.
Will you commit to not using taxpayer money to fund abortions and abortion providers?
We will definitely follow the law when it comes to the use of federal resources.
In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Now, Becerra isn't the only Hispanic person breaking barriers in the White House. Alejandro Mayorkas was also confirmed as Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, the first Latino and immigrant to lead DHS.
And President Joe Biden also named other Hispanics and Latinos to top positions, including Miguel Cordana as the Education Secretary, and Isabel Guzman serves as the administrator for the Small Business Administration.
Well, coming up, we get in the kitchen with celebrity chef Aaron Sanchez as things hit up in the next generation in Hispanic culinary traditions. His name was Javier, not Xavier. So we might need to reshoot that intro. And did I say Aaron correct? Okay.
I guess you'll find out in a minute.
Javier Becerra. Oop. Oh, oh. How big is that baby?
45 pounds. 11 months old.
P.
She's shy at first.
Baby. 3, 2, 1. A new man is leading federal efforts to protect the health of all U.S. residents. California's Attorney General Javier Becerra became the first Hispanic person to lead the Health and Human Services Department earlier this year.
Alexandra Limon reports on his uphill battle for confirmation as the man who sued the Trump administration more than 100 times.
Be Our Proud presents Celebrating Hispanic Heritage.
Celebrity chef Aaron Sanchez is bringing authentic Mexican food to New Orleans. With his restaurant, Johnny Sanchez, he's also helping develop the next generation of chefs with his scholarship fund.
Yeah, Chef Aaron shows us how to make his carnitas enchiladas with one of his rising stars in the kitchen, Camila Arez.
Hola mi gente, how's everyone doing? I'm Aaron Sanchez. This is the lovely Camila, our culinary star. We're here at Johnny Sanchez in New Orleans and we're really excited to share a cool recipe for you guys that we're going to be featuring here at the restaurant at Johnny Sanchez and throughout Hispanic Heritage Month or Latinx Month. This is one of our new ones and everybody loves a good enchilada.
Yes.
So let's start rocking and rolling. So what do we have?
So right here we have our little mozzarella cheese and our chile colorado made by Tio.
Yes, this is my uncle's recipe.
Best guy ever. And our carnitas that we make in-house here at the restaurant. They're super delicious. So the first step here is to grab some carnitas.
I love that.
A little carnita action in there.
Love it.
And then to mix it with some chile colorado.
Okay, nice. And the idea is to kind of reinforce those flavors. Make sure all that beautiful sauce is kind of in there. And basically the chile colorado is just it's a milder chile that we use, like some guajillos, some New Mexican reds, and some roasted onion and garlic and all those yummy bits. So that's what we have here. You don't want it necessarily inundated or too saucy because it's going to break the tortilla, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's get some tortillas and we'll start to roll. What do you think?
Perfect.
So for this, we usually like to do about 3 per order, right? So let's go ahead, let's put some down and I'll help you. Nice.
Little spoonful, nice and full.
Look how beautiful that looks, huh, Camila? That right there is the jammy jam on
Literally
top of
the
some jammy
most
jam.
delicious enchilada in the city.
So you go ahead, I'll meet you in the middle. And you want to just kind of, and they'll fit nice and snug in this little cast iron kind of pan.
Yeah.
We love that. You know, if you want to use flour or corn, it's up to you. It's a preference thing. So once we have that, let's go ahead and put a little sauce on the bottom. What do you think? Come on.
That's going to make it 10 times more flavorful.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, perfect. Nice little batch on the bottom. That way it's snug and loaded with tons of flavor. And then we can put a little bit more sauce on top.
Yes, sir.
And then make sure it's all nice and covered and glazed like we're at the beach, you know what I mean? We need a little suntan lotion
little
on.
sun lotion, make it
go.
nice and pretty.
Of course. And then, Camila, we're gonna add some cheese, right?
Yes,
now,
sir.
This is the fun part. And we'll be nice and
razzle dazzle on there.
Exactly.
Well, razzle dazzle, make it nice and yummy.
And then this is going to go into the oven.
Yes,
so
sir.
what's lovely about that is that it's going to add a textural component. So it's going to get ooey and gooey and melty and cheesy, but also get a little crispy as well.
Yeah.
So why don't we do this? Why don't you go grab one, because I know we have one already
sir.
ready to rock and roll. What?
I know, it came out so good, Chefy.
Get out of town, get out of town. Now we got this beautiful sort of crispy bits on the side, and then you have the ooey gooey pull away situation. The garnishes is important, right, Camila?
First things first, crema.
All right.
Well, razzle dazzle on here.
We'll put a little sheen on there,
Yeah.
all right? And then we're gonna go with some beautiful cotija.
Yes, sir.
I call this cheese the seasoning cheese because it has this sharpness and that sort of
salty, too.
salty flavor to it as well. So right here, Camila, we have those beautiful pickled red onions that we do here in house. You can make them kind of quickly, and you know what you call that?
What?
A quickle.
A quickle.
Come on, Camila. This gets better. That's a dad
10
joke.
out of 10 dad joke right there. Best one I've heard.
Some green onion, right? Some beautiful scallion.
Beautiful.
And this is very important because this, again, is another textural component that's going to bring together all that savoriness and chili, kind of tamp it down with some of that cream and saltiness from the cheese. Man, there's a lot going on there.
A nice flavor combo right here.
Absolutely. And this is what we're going to be featuring here at Johnny Sanchez during Hispanic Heritage Month. This is what it's all about. Camila, thank you so much.
No problem.
Isn't this
Chef.
great,
It's
Chef?
always the best
You're like my
time
daughter.
ever.
I love this. This is awesome.
Well, that looks super tasty. I know where we're going for lunch next week for sure.
If you'd like to try your hand at making those enchiladas at home, you just need a few simple ingredients. We have the full recipe posted to our website at the free Be Our Proud app.
Well, stay with us. We'll be right back.